friends, Angela here. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is a versus. We're going to tell you what that's all about. So first I have my shirt on for the Great Cigars. I joined that club and we're going to talk about that as well. But first let's get right into it. So a versus, today we're going to do competing Vitolas. So what that means today, and they're also both Maduro. So what I'm going to do is, this is a 4 3/4 inch by 60 ring gauge, right? And this is the Wiseman Güegüense Maduro. Usually with this shape, I cut it twice. That's just me. All right, so let's, like I said, we got it cut. Now let's get it lit. So let's just do something a little different, a little special today, being that I am gonna try out this versus series. What I mean by that, again, is this today is the Vitola and the Maduro. In the future, you know, maybe I'll do like two competing similar cigars that have like maybe like a Connecticut wrapper, but they're from two different cigar companies. So we want to like compare and contrast. So let's see, let's get this lit. So what I'm going to do, for those that don't know, we're going to use a cedar spill just for fun. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to light this cedar spill. We'll get this lit. All right, and then I'm going to toast the foot with it first, and then I will just light it up. All right, so I need a second spill here. Let's see how we're going to work this out and see if this works for me. All right. All right, so competing Vitolas. Now I'm going to rate the NUB by Oliva Cigar Company, and this Vitola is a 4-inch by 60 ring gauge. And what I'm going to do is compare this to when I was just smoking the 4 3/4 inch Wiseman. So let's cut and light. All right, so this is the NUB, like I said. Oh, and I almost used my scissor cutter, but I'm going to use the guillotine with the backstop because I want to have the same cut on both, so that it's a comparison. Are those the right words? Right, so I'm going to use the same cut on both cigars. Let's get this lit. First, I'm going to toast the foot. And as you know, we just gently rotate the cigar about an inch away from the lighter here. I'm using my torch lighter. I'm rotating the cigar, and we're going to toast the foot and get this thing going. All right, so we got this lit, and right on light up, I can tell you right now, the aromas of this cigar are really pleasant. It's a little tight draw right now, and in my opinion, it could just be because it's the shape. Again, they're calling it, Foundation's calling it the Perfecto. Like I said, it's tapered on both ends. So maybe the draw will open up for me a little bit as it gets to like the meatier, you know, more round, fatter part in the middle there. So now, like I said, we're going to do a cute little versus here. One cigar against the other. So we have this one, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So this is a San Andreas wrapper, okay, which that is also one of my favorite wrappers. Whenever I read that it's a San Andreas wrapper, I usually tend to go to smoke them again and like them. The binder and filler of this particular cigar is they're both Nicaraguan tobacco leaves. It's a hand-rolled long filler. Okay, so I want to explain why I said I was wearing the Great Cigars t-shirt today. So I joined his group. His name is Jim, and I'll put the information below. He's on Instagram. For those that haven't heard of him, it's a great_cigars. And he has a website and this and that and the whole 9 yards. And he has a certain cigar rating little system there. It's just a little different than what you're kind of used to. It has, so these are what he talks about. Appearance, construction. So it's a 4-part matrix. Appearance, construction, flavor profile, and the price point value. So so being that it's the 4 groups, the matrix, right? It's 25 points, 25 points, 25 points for flavor profile, and 25 points for price point. So let's get into some flavor notes on this one. And I've said it already, the aroma coming off this stick right now, it's very pleasant. Yeah, I'm getting some nice pepper. And on the retrohale, there's like I want to say a sweetness, but I feel like it's faint right now. I feel like once this warms up more, maybe I can determine that. But definitely pepper for sure. Let's see what I will rate this Wiseman today using Great Cigars Matrix. I better get it right. I mean, hey, you'll find me, it's on this, my YouTube channel, just kind of being silly with the words I use. I have a master's degree, but I tell people that, what does that mean? It means I know nothing, I think. But the funny thing is, when you're kind of raised, I think with immigrant grandparents or anybody in your family, this and that, that's, came here and English was their second language, I kind of, just in my opinion, I feel like when I was a little girl, because my family kind of didn't know certain words, or they'd always say, ¿Cómo se dice? How do you say this and that? And because they're Sicilian Americans, I feel like sometimes that impeded on how I talk. Also, I'm from Long Island originally, so sometimes, and no offense, Strong Island, I love Long Island. Not picking on Long Island, I love the way I talk, but sometimes if I say, water, coffee, this and that, I mean, that's just how I was raised. So you have to bear with me. So, and I do appreciate you all bearing with me. So let's get into this review. Definitely picking up some nice earthiness. And when I say earthiness, in this sense, let me see. I mean, sort of like that wet, clean spring soil. You know how after it rains, you could kind of smell really good earthy soil? To me, I find that pleasant. And so earthiness is coming through. And, when I was a little girl, actually, I used to play, I was in Girl Scouts. And I'm the oldest of 3 siblings. So we used to play outside, and it was encouraged to, get the pots and pans and make stone soup with the mud, and get the hose, get the rocks, get the, and make muddy stone soup. So actually, I used to love that smell of the clean, wet soil. I don't know if that sounds crazy or funny to you guys. Let me know. But I do like that smell. So, and again, when I say guys, I mean everyone, all friends. It's an old habit. It's hard to die, I think. All right, so this wrapper is a dark and oily Brazilian Maduro. And this aroma right now is kind of like a nutty, beautiful aroma right now. And it's funny, I actually love to eat Brazilian nuts, those big fat, beautiful Brazilian nuts. So I'm going to say it kind of reminds me of that, the nuttiness of a Brazilian nut, because it's the wrapper leaf is Brazilian. So let's go with that. And the binder and filler, also like the Wiseman cigar, is Nicaraguan long leaf tobacco. Okay, so this is a nice smoky stick, just how I like it. And the aroma of this cigar, just in itself, is also equally pleasant. All right, so let's get into some flavor notes. On the retrohale, I'm getting chocolate. This is definitely rich and toasty, yet also at the same time creamy with a sweetness. So you have that espresso, chocolate, nuts. Let's see how it performs as we get through the first, second, and last third. Actually, this is getting a little tight. This has a little bit of a tight draw. I'm just gonna hit it again with the lighter here and see what we get. I think one side of it was going out. I'm just trying to pick up some other flavor notes. But as you know, with a cigar, especially a premium hand-rolled cigar such as this one, as you smoke it, the notes change throughout the first, second, and last third, as you know. So even though this is a small Vitola, we're still, by the time we get to the middle here, I'm sure the flavor notes are certainly going to pick up. It's an absolutely flavorful, aroma-filled stick. Definitely pepper notes. And on the retrohale, for sure, I would say espresso as well. So in there we have, I said, the earthiness, pepper, espresso. So far, really nice stick. Okay, so as I said in my other videos, I like the lime LaCroix as sort of like a palate cleanser. Let's crack this open. In between puffs here, because that's how I feel helps me, you know, kind of determine the flavor notes as well when I have kind of like a clear palate in between puffs. So final third, and the flavor, if I could talk, the flavor profiles are really nice. I am a particular fan of that pepperiness and that earthiness for sure. Like I said, with the retrohale, you're getting that espresso. I'm still finding that in the final third here. And there was something else I was just going to say. I forgot. Oh, and the aroma of the burning cigar itself, I give it an A++, because that's usually one of my favorite parts too about just relaxing with a cigar, is just the aroma coming off of the cigar in itself. To me, is very pleasing. So I wrote down what I thought here. We went through the first and second, third. And like I said, now I'm in the final third. So I wrote down the Great Cigars review metrics here. Metrics. I gotta look that up. Anyhow, the 4 parts. So for appearance, I gave it a 23 out of 25. So for me, appearance is many things. It's how it looks. The Vitola itself. Is it a torpedo? Is it this and that? Do you like, you know, smoking a cigar that looks like a torpedo or not? And then also the leaves. This is a Maduro, so do you like how the appearance looks? And also like the veininess of the leaves. So for me, I wasn't 100% fan of that particular Wiseman band. That's just me. Again, I've said it in the past, when you kind of like look in the humidor at your local shop, and you look and you say, I want to try a new cigar today. What am I looking to try? If you've already narrowed it down to like maybe the brand, the company, you know, right? Because, you know, each company, they can have 20 plus, you know, about 20 cigars they're each putting out and this and that. So you might already know you love the company, but you want to be smoking a Maduro that day, but it's like, now which one are you going to choose? So that's part of the appearance of it. So for me, I gave this one a 23 out of 25. Now also for the construction, that's the leaves in itself, and it's, of course, this is a hand-rolled premium product. So this, for me, I gave it a 23 out of 25 because I felt it was a little bit of a tight draw, a little too tight. I thought it was going to loosen up. Actually, maybe I might even give that a 22 out of 25, which I don't want to do because I do love foundation. But again, this particular stick I found to be a little tight in the draw throughout. I thought it was going to loosen up as I got to the end. It kind of didn't. So I'll switch that actually to a 22 out of 25. Flavor profile, I gave it a 25 out of 25. Again, I said throughout the whole time, all the notes were staying true. This is a bold cigar, but not too bold. It's just right, basically. It's just like right on the you know, right on the crescendo of that getting to bold. Is it too bold? Is it going to knock you out? So I say no. And so 25 out of 25. And then the price point for this, this was a $14 stick where I am. Again, I'm in New York. I know we have high tax here, but online, this is went by the online price. So it's a $14 stick. I kind of feel like for its size and from what I got out of it, it should be capped at 12. But again, that's me. So that is why for the price point value, I gave it a 23 out of 25 because again, being that the draw was kind of tight. I mean, it's not like super smoky, this stick, which is fine. Again, this is just my rating using the Great Cigars metrics. I prefer, I like a big smoke output cigar. So in total, I'm giving it a 93 out of 100. Not too bad. Not too bad. 93 out of 100. So I'm going to get to its competitor here we're doing today is next up, the NUB. Okay, so I'm in the final third, and so far this NUB is holding up. The flavor profile is right on point. That balance between the chocolate and the espresso, you know, kind of toggling between each other is really nice. Again, for me, when I smoke cigars, usually almost every single time I'm doing the retro hail, so I find that helps with the notes and this and that, so discovering them. You know, again, people, it's fine, you can enjoy cigars as much or even more than me without really saying that you taste the nuttiness and all that. That's fine. That's but what I'm here for today is just to kind of do this review and kind of just have a little fun back and forth with the between the NUB and the Wiseman today. So actually I'm getting pretty close to the band there, so I'm going to take off the band now because the ash warmed it up nicely. Now let's see. So that easily came off. And I'm going to put that in my cigar log for sure. So I wrote down, and I'm not going to repeat it because I already said it with the other, in the beginning of the video. For the review matrix I'm doing is the 4 parts for the Great Cigars. So what I'm finding with the NUB too is that it has a really nice ash. It really holds up nicely and strong, and it's really nice even burn throughout. So let's get right into the review. So let's see, for the appearance I gave it a 24 out of 25. Why is that? Because it's super cute. It's a nice looking Maduro wrapper, 1 whole tobacco leaf. It's really nice throughout. And for the construction, I'm giving it a 24 out of 25. It has, because of the nice long ash that it holds. I find that with the long filler tobaccos, that's when you get a nice long ash too. A nice well-constructed hardy ash that, you know, is almost hard when you tap it in the ashtray. It's almost hard to come off. You kind of got to roll it off. So I do find with those type of fillers, it produces, and also with Oliva brand, I find that they generally hold a good long ash. Flavor notes, I gave it a 23 out of 25. Yes, the chocolate and the espresso toggle between the two were consistent throughout, but I did find some of the creaminess, maybe that underlying sweetness and the initial nuttiness in the beginning, it didn't really, it kind of changed throughout, which is fine. That's what you want really in a premium hand-rolled cigar, that sometimes by the time you get to the final third, it's a deeper, different profile. But for me, I just I found maybe the on the light up was more preferred. But and it's funny too, because I am a
a huge fan of the final third. I've said it in many of my past videos. I like when everything's all warmed up, and all the flavors are kind of like, you know, just clumping together at the end there and really giving you a good good retrohale flavor. But I think I'm tripping on my words here. But so again, this I just kind of wish maybe that the creaminess would have stayed. And then for the price value, price point and the value for the stick. Now again, this is a 4-inch, right? But I gave it a 24 out of 25, and here's why. This is an $8.50 stick, which I really think it's a nice price for what you would expect from Oliva brand. Again, this is the NUB by Oliva, and so to me it makes sense. But maybe I would say normally you would want to pay about $6 for a 4-inch stick, but because this was a 60 ring gauge, I only took off 1 point because it's still a great value overall. So and it's made with great quality Nicaraguan tobacco, so you could taste that throughout, that the premium Nicaraguan tobacco leaves throughout. So this overall, the NUB was a 95 out of 100. It's 2 points over the Wiseman, so I guess in this case the NUB wins for me, but they're both equally great, good sticks. So I will see you next time.